referee, Rene Gaspillo, national referee. And our second referee, Joy Deimos, national referee. And now let's hear you cheer for the team currently at number 1, the Ateneo Lady Eagles. Number 3, Dina Wong. Number 4, Jur Samonte. Number 7, Maddie Madayal. Number 9, Ponga Gaston. Number 10, Kat Tolentino. And number 14, their captain, Bea De Leon. For their libero, Kim Gekiliana. And their head coach, Oliver Almadro. And now make some noise for the reigning and defending champions of the UAAP, the DLSU Lady Spikers. Number 2, their captain, Desiree Cheng. Number 5, Des Clemente. Number 6, Michelle Call. Number 8, Jolina De La Cruz. Number 13, Aduke Ogunsanya. And number 15, Tin Chamson. For their libero, number 12, CJ Saga. And for their head coach, Ramil De Jesus. It's blue versus green.
You know, it's a special game at the Araneta Coliseum, Mitch, when you feel it in your feet. Diba? Parang nararamdaman may rumble in the venue. Not only the noise, the drums, as you see the starting 6 for both the Lady Eagles and the Lady Spikers. Round number 2. First time was opening weekend. Now we're on our way to the close of the elimination round. And a big game, as always, regardless of team standings. LaSalle versus Ateneo. Michelle Cobb gets us on our way. And the first point from the white and blue. What are you looking out for, Michelle, in the early goings of this matchup?
I'm really looking out for the blocks of Ateneo. It's really exciting to watch how they're performing in their blocks this season. And talagang yung confidence natin na nahuhugot sa kanilang blocking. And over on the side of LaSalle, I want to see the spikes of LaSalle come back. The 3-4 players of them in double figures. That's what we want from them, especially with this girl, Adute Agansanya. She's been a constant player, a constant scorer for her team as well.
Right, bar from the LaSalle side with Ayana Perlas. Go ahead, Ayana.
Boom and Michelle, let's rewind to round 1 of Ateneo versus LaSalle. The Lady Spikers may have won that convincingly, but they are aware that this is a completely different Lady Eagles that they are facing right now. Now with Ateneo's formidable record, the Lady Spikers had to work extra hard in order to boost their chances of a twice privilege. Now immediately, the day after the win against Adamson, the girls embarked on another hectic yet fulfilling day in training, with again going against their ates in the professional league, who have remained very supportive not only during training but even in every game. With the veterans' very tall lineup, the Lady Spikers are confident that they are well prepared for this battle. With this, Coach Ramil is hoping that the team will be able to catch the Lady Eagles off guard just like in round 1. So apprehensions, sabi ni Coach Ramil. And lastly, the Lady Spikers believe na Ateneo man ang number 1 sa standings, pero sila pa rin ang defending champions. Boom and Michelle.
Thank you very much, Ayana. I want to go back to that first point of your report. It says a very different team from when they met the first round. A 10-game winning streak does that to you, Michelle. You know how it is to be part of streaks, as a service error by Kat Tolentino gives LaSalle the lead here 3-2. What does a 10-game, 9-game, even in your case, a 12, 13-game winning streak feel going into a matchup?
You have the confidence, and you also have that edge when it comes to the mind game of that is volleyball, especially here in the UAAP. You have the crowd, you have the ambiance here in the Smart Araneta Coliseum. It's really really a big factor for Ateneo to have that 10-game winning streak under their belt, because it's a mind game for DLSU. You're going up against a team who hasn't lost since they met you at the start of the season.
Two service aces right away for LaSalle. That's what we were talking about. They're in the lead, 4-2. Kat will send it over easily. Cobb will underhand this one to Julina. Julina gets the corner. 5-2 for DLSU. Let's go to Frenny Reyes right now.
Before each game, Coach Oliver Almado writes a Bible quote in the dugout, and the quote for today is, "Our faith can move mountains." This is a team that is grounded in their faith. Despite the noise of the arena, despite all the hype, the winning streak, it's all about their faith. Everything is from the Lord and for the Lord. If they experience hardships today, it is fuel for them to increase their faith, trust, and courage. Coach O reminded the girls that DLSU might try to get into their nerves, but they are still in control. The Lady Eagles have prepared well for today, and they will do whatever it takes. Boom and Michelle.
You know, Franny, Oliver, Coach O might be talking about himself also in that sense, because in the first round matchup, he admitted to me that there was some jitters. There was a little, even if he's been part of the atmosphere from a spectator or even from the bench or close to the girls, iba daw nung nagko-coach na siya, doon niya raw naramdaman kung gaano kalaki itong Ateneo LaSalle women's volleyball matchup as Tiamzon overcooks that one. So we are at 5-4 now for DLSU.
Especially, Boom, knowing that both Coach Ramil and Coach Oliver have worked together before in the UAAP for DLSU, and now that they're on the opposing sides of the court, it's a good matchup, seeing that you know their history, you know where they come from, and both teams are the top two now of the league, and it's a big game for both coaches and for the girls.
Speaking of nerves, a couple of service errors for Ateneo there. As you look at Coach O, their second service error, which gives LaSalle a 2-point lead. The girl is surprised. Ateneo in matchup number 1. The rookie, Julina de la Cruz, when the conversation was about Des Clemente, about coming into the matchup, coming into the season, de la Cruz provided really glimpses of greatness. Binigay yung bola sa kabila. On the counter-attack. And Ateneo, really good on counters, Michelle.
They're struggling with their receptions because of the strong serves at DLSU, but we see that it's a good start not only for Pongay Gaston, who scored a point, but also for Jules Samonte. And this is what Ateneo needs to be able to get their spikes going. You know Maddie is there, you know Kat Tolentino and Bea are always in the scoreboards, but it's Pongay Gaston and also Jules Samonte who changes the atmosphere for the Lady Eagles.
The rally is still alive. Tiamzon is checked. Saga was there. They go back to Nicole. Rolls it to the other side. And an easy take. 6-5 is our score. And that will go to LaSalle after the long rally. 7-5 now.
Errors right now for the Ateneo Lady Eagles. They're doing good in terms of blocking and spiking, but their errors right now, this is their third in the game. 2 from the service line and 1 over by Jules Samonte.
Right. So 7-5. Very nice action here in the first set between LaSalle and Ateneo. Julina. Des tips it over. Nice reaction by De La Cruz. Cheng off the blockers. Hinabol, underhand. Pongay, cross-court. And they're not going to allow that because I think it is beyond the antenna. So that means Tim Tiamzon will go back to the service deck. After our first technical timeout, that's when Tin Tiamzon will serve. It is 8-5 in the first set. We're almost 2 rounds of action here in the UAAP. Michelle, your thoughts on the rookie Jelena De La Cruz?
She lived up to the hype that after her performance against Ateneo in that first game of the season, and the last game versus Adamson, she had 13 points, 10 digs as well. So she's not only a threat in the front row, she has that back row attack boom, and she also has that defense that LaSalle really needs, especially against a much better spiking and blocking team, which is the Ateneo Lady Eagles.
Bongay Gaston outsmarting the blockers of LaSalle, gets a point, dropping it behind the blockers. 6 will be serving 8. Wong in, sends it over. Back set to Kat. Received by Saga, but a double contact called on Mitch Cobb.
Looking at the floor defense right now, Boom, of DLSU, it doesn't show that they're at number 8 right now in terms of digging. The rallies are credited to the back row defense. That huge pickup down the line by Saga is a very rare thing to do against someone like Kat Tolentino.
That 2-point run by Ateneo is stopped. So the lead continues to be 2 for LaSalle. They had a 3-point lead here in this first set. As Des Clemente, the one and done player for DLSU, will get us going for this rally. Ateneo with 4 errors already so far here in the match. Tolentino rejected at the net. That's a confidence builder for the blocking of LaSalle.
Way to enter as well for Duque Agoncania. Going up against someone like Kat Tolentino, who has the height advantage. And LaSalle is the number 2 blocking team in the league, so it's a good matchup in the defense department versus these 2 teams.
Cheng sends it over. It's back to a 3-point lead. Pongay from the opposite side. Cobb will go back to Cheng, who rolls it to the other side. Wong, Hekiliana, Tolentino again. And Clemente unable to reach that ball, as Tolentino, the 3rd best spiker and 4th best scorer in the league, at full strength, just rolls it to the other side and gets the point.
She knows she's up against a much smaller blocker, Michelle Cobb. That's why Kat is staying in the outside right now, even though she's an opposite spiker naturally for the Lady Eagles. She's taking advantage of Michelle Cobb being in the front row.
What a hit by Des Cheng. It's good to see her back, you know. I don't know percentage-wise if she's 100% after the shoulder injury and a couple of games sidelined, but from an activity standpoint, the last 2 or 3 games, the movement standpoint, parang she's back to normal at least. Michelle, I don't know kung from a strength standpoint.
Especially Boom naman in volleyball, it's not always a strong hit. Your jump shots, your check balls are also 1 point, just as well as your strong hits, and your services are also 1 point. So it really helps her to have a little variation with her spikes, because she was the top scorer in that first game, and
13 points.
For 13 points, if I'm not mistaken, and she also scored in double figure against that game at Adamson with 11 points.
De La Cruz, Wong with the dig. But De La Cruz gets it back. Miguel was not able to control the second ball. It went to Jelena De La Cruz for the Gatorade-fueled spike of the game, and back to a 3-point lead for DLSU.
There was no libero there for the back row, who will be the second setter. Bea De Leon had to put that up. It was a good height over on the other side for Jelena De La Cruz.
Cobb saw that coming. Saga will send it to the rookie. It's a nice fast low set. Just enough for Maddie to put it away.
Both Maddie and Bea are not just spiking the ball straight down. They know that DLSU is reading them well in blocking and defense. They're using their drop shots, those fast tips, to be able to outsmart the defense of DLSU.
Saga. Samonte. Sheng was the one who picked it up, and Saga sends it. A chance ball for Ateneo. Miscommunication on the offensive side, so it's a chance here for LaSalle. Tiamzon. Ooh! Bongay got the ball. I think that was going out. Am I wrong, Mitch?
It was definitely way above the blockers. Bongay in the back row had to jump, and she touched that ball. She probably thought it was a check or a block touch.
Okay.
So against a triple block,
Right.
hindi mo talaga makikita unless na once again, communication has to be in full effect, especially in a crowd as big as the Ateneo LaSalle game. You have to be able to shout and hear one another, to give advice then, of course.
Alam niya, sumabit pa sa daliri, so kinuha niya as Samonte is able to drill that one in to cut the lead again. Down to 2. In between the hands of Jolina de la Cruz. She didn't start in that first game. If you remember, it was Vanny Gandler who started, and it was a shaky start for Vanny. Coach O brought Jules Samonte into that game, and from then on, she has been the starter predominantly for Ateneo. Well, she's the more veteran anyway of the two, as Tess Clemente with a run and gun.
After that game, Vanny was put in by coach intermittently, and she did do a good job, but Jules Samonte is still much more calmer and much more
stable,
matured and stable in terms of starting for the Ateneo Lady Eagles. It's a good performance for both of them, but Ateneo needs a Jules Samonte to be able to deviate the blockers of their opponents from Maddie, from Kat, because of course you can't load up to just these 3 players.
Mababayaran din ang experience, and she's had it with Ateneo, talking about Samonte. In the meantime, speaking of Ateneo, they're down 2 here with Maddie on deck. 12 serving 14. This reception by Tin Tiamzon. And coming in is May Luna, who started in that match in the first round. And a lot of people were talking about, hey, this is going to be the year that May Luna will explode in the scene with a highly recruited high school, couple of years already with LaSalle, and we're hoping that this is the year that she will deliver. In the meantime, she comes off the bench today for Tiamzon. They get the score again, and another 2-point lead.
Boom, she had 11 points in that game, just the same as Jolina de la Cruz. She had a great start in this season, but sometimes there are inconsistencies in her game, especially in defense and reception, and that's what LaSalle really needs, a good defense and reception to be able to construct their plays.
All right, we'll talk more about her and this match after the second technical timeout. Back inside the Araneta Coliseum, we are in the second technical timeout. Let's talk about the player we mentioned just a few minutes ago, Jules Samonte, coming off the bench in that first game and has been a regular starter now for Coach O since.
And that game versus NU, that was her best game of the season. She had 13 points and 19 digs. So she is a huge addition to the back row reception and defense of Ateneo to be able to execute a well-rounded play. You need someone like Jules Samonte, who is like a second libero as well. And plus points na lang yung 13 points niya in that game. In their first game against DLSU, she actually also had 7 points.
Off the bench.
Rally
going on here. Luna with the pickup. Sheng from behind the line. Wong quickly, and the push from BDL. Saga keeps it alive. Luna from the back row. That drops in. Migueliana thought it was going to go out. And I saw Coach RDJ's reaction there when Luna got the ball and he was like trying to will that ball to drop, and that's what happened. And Mitch, this is now the biggest lead of the first set so far at 17-13.
Accident. It's because you're doubting. Papasok ba or hindi? Papapalo ba or hindi? We're second guessing. Pero you know what to do already. Focus to me. You're second guessing. But you know what to do. Alam mo, papunta. When in doubt, get it. Ganun din. Tama yung ginagawa natin. Pero nag-second guess. Kailangan ng initiative. Kailangan ng pagsigurado, sigurado na. Huwag tayo maging too much early. Kailangan
17-13 in front of this mammoth crowd, as always, at the Araneta Coliseum. We'll get the numbers later on. The first matchup was 17,000 strong.
For the ladies'
opening weekend. And this is match number 48, and May Luna will continue to serve here. Saga digs. Cheng against a triple block. Wong to BDL. Cobb was there. Luna from the back row. Goes back to that corner again. Luna. And there's a sigh on the face of, you're right here in front of Coach RDJ. And you see like a relief, a sigh of relief that these balls are dropping in with the narrowest of margins, Mitch.
I don't know if May Luna was able to practice beforehand here at the Araneta Coliseum. Pero sukat na sukat niya talaga yung court ngayon ng Ateneo in her services. She's been putting up a great serve. And it's a great performance from May Luna coming off the bench right now for DLSU.
Rally still ongoing. Bongay again, cross court. Luna digging. Julina. Off speed, just at the right moment. Parang pupredo ng konti, Mitch, and then did not go full force. And now the biggest lead is at 6 at 19-13. Look at that. The adjustment right at the end of that jump.
Coming off the back row, a great point also for Julina de la Cruz. If you were able to catch that last timeout by Coach Oliver Boone, sinabi niya, one of the players, I don't know if it was Bea or Maddie, nawawalan sila ng aggressiveness. And for me, looking at the game right now of Ateneo, it's because they haven't blocked. That's their strength. That's where they get their confidence. That's where they get their aggressiveness. And right now, they still don't have any block points in this game. DLSU is working overtime to score points, to deviate their attacks in the blockers of Ateneo. And dun talaga humuhugot ng confidence itong koponan ni Coach Oliver.
Danny Gandler, Ravenna also in, overcooked by Kat Tolentino. This means it's a 21-13 run or lead. And May Luna, you may have said she might not have been practicing those corner shots, but her service has been on point, so she's been practicing that for sure. Let's listen in again.
Hey, look at your faces, girls. Please naman. We're just starting. Nag-uumpisa pa lang tayo. They're getting into your nerves and you're allowing it. It's our choice. Attitude is our choice. So what attitude will you show there? Kung hindi pwede makipaglabanan ng balikan na ganon, you have to think. So then, kasi yung ball, hindi mo nga para makabago ng pagkasgato. Hindi ka po. Para makabago lang muna yung tingin. Hey, do you understand?
The MVP, champion, Majoy Baron, in attendance, enjoying this 8-point lead. And the serving has been, you said it prior to the game, that's going to be crucial for Lasal, and they've been doing just that.
They've been doing that. They're putting pressure on the reception of Ateneo. That's why Coach Oliver is trying to talk to Dina Wong. Sinasabi niya, diskartehan mo, but it's very hard when the ball doesn't reach you. Back-to-back aces for May Luna.
Apat na yan.
Apat na, hindi umaabot kay Dina Wong yung bola. So how will you, Boom, be able to set up a point, to be able to have that opportunity? It's very hard.
Well, so far, Michelle, your analysis has been on point in terms of, you know, receptions, non-blocking right now, which is the strength of Ateneo, which we haven't seen much of, as Ponga Gaston gets that through finally to stop the bleeding. 22-14 is our score. And then the serving, you mentioned that. So the strengths of LaSalle so far in the first set, nangingibabaw sa mga strengths ng Ateneo so far dito sa ating first set.
Number one strength of Ateneo is their blocking, and we haven't seen that in the first set. Kat Tolentino, Bea De Leon, Ati Madayan has been quiet in terms of the scoring department, and it's actually Jules Samonte and Pongay Gaston who are getting those points across the DLSU defense.
Look at that fast set for Des Cheng. Hindi pa naisara yung block ng Ateneo. Lumusot yung bola. Back to a 9-point lead. 9-1 run. And a good attempt there for BDL to make it 9-2. Ateneo has to get a little bit of an offensive rhythm at the end of the set, regardless kung mapapakawalan pa nila itong set na ito. Hindi. They cannot just give it away. De La Cruz with the first ball. Cheng, Lumutan, Candler with the pickup. Nobody talking there for Ateneo, and that's what Coach O hates. And we are at set point now. The frustration on the men's champion coach, as Jules Samonte will be back for Vanny Candler.
Once the ball is up in the air and the second ball has been put up,
And
the
now
spikers
the
have to be
ladies
smart enough to be
set.
able to either tip that or spike that. You have to make a move and decide quick.
Oh, what an emphatic attack there.
Not just yet.
You could hear it, the thud of that spike of BDL. May konting frustration, may konting galit. They want things to get going here, and that found its mark. 24-16, they saved the set point, talking about Ateneo.
Basta tumaas yung bola, kaya naman gawa ng paraan. That ball was actually almost going over the net too far for Dina Wong, but it was high. It's not an automatic ace for LaSalle. So that is what Ateneo needs in order to score more points. Just get that first ball as high as they can so that Dina Wong can make a play.
2 straight points, 2 set points saved by Ateneo. Expect RDJ to call a timeout if they score another one here, talking about Ateneo. Down 7. Cobb opens to Jolina, and that will do it for the first set. Green and white taking set number 1 in this round 2 rematch between Ateneo, the number 1 team, and DLSU, the number 2 team. Match number 48 here at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, live on SNA.
A quick reminder while taking photos and videos, please turn off your flash. Again, a quick reminder while taking photos and videos, turn
25-17, 25 minutes in the first set. DLSU was holding on to 1, 2, 3, and then 2, and then 1 point lead, and then all of a sudden they dropped a 9-1 run for separation. Naiwanan itong Ateneo. Eventually the closing score is 25-17. Take us through it, Michelle.
Boom, it was a very good set for the DLSU Lady Spikers. They stayed true to form in terms of their service aces and their attacks. It's their blocking that gave them a better edge over the Ateneo Lady Eagles. And for the Ateneo Lady Eagles, it was a very unlikely start for them. They have their attacks there, but they don't have the numbers that we usually see in terms of the blocking department of the Ateneo Lady Eagles. 3 of them are in the top 10 in the blocking department for this whole season, and no blocks in the stat sheet for them, only in the first set. So we still have another few sets to see if they will be able to get back that lead that they always have in each and every game.
Service is a big topic of conversation in that first set, especially for the side of LaSalle. But brand new set, brand new game. Welcome to the second set here on SNA and on Liga. And of course, on the #1 sports website in the Philippines, sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/UAAP. And LaSalle with another auspicious start here. First point of set number 2. They were led, talking about LaSalle, by somebody who came off the bench. Luna with 5 points, especially her serving was pretty good. And then those drop balls to the corners. De La Cruz with 4. Cheng with 3. In the meantime, Madayag and Gaston and De Leon all with 3 points for Ateneo.
It was a good time for Coach Remio De Jesus to bring in May Luna. Not only did she change the atmosphere for the DLSU offense, but that service that she had in the latter part of the game, back-to-back service aces for her, consistently putting up a great serve for the Lady Spikers.
Save there by Saga. De La Cruz on the other side. It's in the hands of the white and blue now. They go to Pongay from the back row, and that's out as we send it to Franny Reyes now.
Boom and Michelle, that first set felt like the first round game. Now the Lady Eagles are letting their nerves get the best of them again. I got to talk to Bea De Leon last night, and she actually told me that, they need to keep their emotions in check. Maddie actually echoed that sentiment. They need to balance their excitement, be focused but not too rigid, relax but have presence of mind. Hopefully Ateneo can adjust in this set and show LaSalle why they're on a 10-game winning streak.
Thank you, Franny. In the meantime, Ateneo's down 1 here. Block and back to the side of the Lady Eagles. Samonte adjusting. What a pickup by CJ Saga. Luna. Coverage by LaSalle. Luna will try again. Pongay will dig. Tolentino will spike. Long rally here in the second. Luna will try cross court. Equiliana was there. Samonte from afar. Ogunsanya with a tip. And a long rally won again by the green and white. 3-1 is the score. And she knows how it feels to save a few balls. Don Macandili in attendance here at the Araneta Coliseum as we go to Ayana Perlas.
Boom and Michelle, the first half was a confirmation that the girls are back in their fighting form. Now, in spite of the dominant win over the Lady Falcons, Coach Ramil expressed that his discontentment over the girls' performance. He emphasized on the unforced errors and lack of killer instinct, intensity, and consistency. While the Lady Spikers did not fail Coach Ramil this time and responded by manifesting fierceness and took the driver's seat in the first set. Michelle, like what you mentioned earlier, DLSU has actually been focusing on their floor defense for the past few trainings, and you can definitely see that they are putting it into action today. Back to you.
Now the question is, can they sustain it? That will be the challenge as May Luna continues to shine. for DLSU here. Thank you, Ayana. 4-2 is our score.
This is why I love watching May Luna play Boom. Yung giggle and the fire that you see in her eyes each and every time she scores a point, each and every time she goes up to hit. Right now, DLSU up 2 points. You can credit that to their defense, like what Ayana said. And Saga is really playing a great game right now, picking up those loose balls for DLSU.
Don Macandili proud. In the meantime, a rejection by Jolina de la Cruz. And back to a 3-point lead here. 5-2. Look at this. Jolina inabangan. Itong si Jules Samonte. You know, going back to your point about May Luna, she's always had power, even back in high school. It's really about consistency from game to game. Also, in this year, she got an injured cheek. Also, actually, in the first matchup, she already had that. And then she had to wear a mask, which she didn't like, as a service error. A point given, free to Ateneo. Second service error for DLSU in this game.
In the second set, that was the 2 out of 3 points of Ateneo. One from Michelle Cobb, also from Aduke Agunsanya. Medyo gigil. They had great serves in the first set. Wala masyadong service error doon. So in this second set, medyo nagigigil na sila to put up a good serve because that's where they're scoring most points.
Iba na matangkad is the common saying in Filipino, and Des just tips it just with the fingertips on her way down, and they still get a point. 6-3 is our score. Oh, the best of the best. Watching here in Araneta, I'm sure they're very happy.
Soft serve, Jolina.
Atis right now here watching live. Sid as well. She's not anymore based here in the Philippines. It's good to see her here.
She was a great all-around. I know. She was such a great all-around player. Even when she had a lot of injuries also that she had to deal with. It's good to see her again. Of course, you saw Fajardo, Cruz all in attendance as Gaston doesn't get it over. And this is the biggest lead in set number 2. 8-3 is our score. Mika Reyes also in attendance. DLSU in the lead. Well, the captain on your screens. She led the team with 13 points in the first matchup. Have some injury issues this year, but has never faltered in terms of her leadership, at least for DLSU, Michelle, as our rally continues here.
And despite not being able to play a couple of games, she is still number 17 on the score list with a total of 113 markers, 11 points in their last game versus Adamson, the second highest scorer in the game for the DLSU Spikers.
Rene Caspillo looks at the linesman, and the linesman called that there was a touch on that May Luna attempt. So this is now the biggest lead of set number 2. Earlier, the biggest lead of set number 1 was 9. We are at 9-3 right now in set number 2. As the rookie serves. And a third service error in this set for DLSU.
Dito lumalabas yung mga errors nila, especially in their services. They have to keep it consistent if they want to repeat what happened, the outcome in that first set, because that was the deciding factor. Doon nila napapahirapan itong reception ng Ateneo.
That is out. 10-4. Coach O. May Luna back on deck. Remember earlier, she served very well in the middle of that 9-1 run. Another one from Des Clemente this time.
Great job from Michelle Cobb. That set was kind of low for her, but she was able to push it to Des Clemente for a quick point for DLSU.
Lady Eagles.
Come on, girls. Let's choose the right attitude. Pag nakapuntos tayo, that's what, dun lang tayo nagsasalita eh. Habang walang bola, we have to keep on talking. Don't give me blank stares. You have to do what you got to do. Do what matters. Eh, kailangan bang kamayin kagad, wala pa namang ginagawa. Tinatarget lang yung gitna eh. Napakagaang. Why is it happening? Because you want to make a point right away. Nawawala yung patience. Gusto natin makabawi. Yung kalaban bumabalik. Natataranta tayo. Nawawala yung ball awareness, court awareness.
Phil Kainglet, Cayetano, Magalanza, all in attendance. The stars are out today. My partner, a star herself.
Eliza was here also a while ago.
Oh, tama.
School Smashers represent, and I want to invite everybody to the Grand Fans Day of the PVL. Mag-uumpisa na yan sa May 25, but we have a meet and greet fans day for everyone on April 25. That's at 12 noon boom at the Trinoma Activity Center. Maraming pasabog ang mga PVL players. So I hope to see you and everybody there on April 25.
PVL Open Shop almost right after the UAAP tournament is done. And in the meantime, back to this ball game. May Luna is still serving very well as Gaston gets it over the block. Cobb will reverse it to Jelena. What is happening here, Michelle Ateneos? Nothing's going right from a defensive standpoint and offensive standpoint. As Ragas and Maraguinot will now check in for Coach O.
They are unable to have a good first pass. Their defense as well is being outsmarted by the hits of DLSU. Then Lazaro watching her former school, the Lady Eagles, and they're unable to get their attacks and blocks going because they lack that first pass. If they have that first pass, they're able to maximize their front row. Bea de Leon is up in front. Gaston is also up in front. So malaking bagay talaga yung makadepensa at makareceive sila.
Nanggigil si May Luna dun. Mababa yung pasa, pinilit yung palo, but they have an 8-point lead here for De La Salle University. As Erica Ragas, who played one set in that game, in that first matchup, off the bench as Cheng. It's too low. 4 touches. 2 straight points for La Salle, for Ateneo here to cut the lead down, which was at 9, the highest. So yun yung parang barrier. 9 points in the first set, 9 points in the second set. So far, 13-4.
Ateneo has to find a way to score points because as of the moment, there are 6 points as you can see on the scoreboard. 4 dyan, boom, error ng La Salle.
Gatorade hydration checkpoint. We see the score at 14-6.
4 of those 6 points are coming from the errors a while ago from Des Cheng, May Luna, and also 2 service errors on the line for DLSU. So they really have to find a way to keep scoring points.
Buckeye puts it away with authority there down the line. Abby Maraño.
And Aura Breguela watching here. at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. A lot of people right now flew in travel just to see this game. And this is always a story for any Ateneo LaSalle game, no? Marami talagang lumuluwas from their provinces just to see and watch live.
Luna.
Yes, whether they're former players or fans, we'd like to say hello to everybody who traveled just to watch this game, and everybody watching all over the Philippines and all over the world. Thank you very much, Boom Gonzalez, together with Michelle Gumabaw. 25-11 is how LaSalle has outscored Ateneo since May Luna came in. So her impact, the timing of Coach RDJ when he replaced Tin Tiamzon. Wow, what an impact. That's plus 14 since May Luna checked in. Right smack in the middle of the second set. Ina Wong is back. Kat Tolentino is back. Raagas and Maraginot will sit down for Ateneo again, who are experiencing a juggernaut from the green side. Kip Montalvo, all in attendance, alongside a lot of these former LaSalle players, future LaSalle players, fans, faithful alike. 16 to 17 is our score. Michelle Tom will go for this rally against a team with a 10-game winning streak. And now our biggest lead of either set, Michelle, is now standing at 10. It's 17 to 7.
Another service ace boom from the DLSU Lady Spikers. We've talked about this in the first set na pinaghandaan talaga nila yung services and yung reception ng Ateneo, and you can see it. You said a while ago, can they make it consistently? And they are showing to everybody that they can.
The block, Cheng and Ogunsanya providing a brick wall to give them an 11-point lead here. Access denied, says LaSalle. Captain on your screens. And the setter getting us going here for this rally. Julina. That will be a hitting error. Point for Ateneo. Lead is 10. Second set, 1-0 for LaSalle here at the Smart Araneta Coliseum.
At Tolentino, Jules Samonte, Maddie Madayag up in front for the Ateneo Lady Eagles. That is just one rotation away from serving boom, and we haven't felt that presence of Kat Tolentino, especially in the spiking department where she is most known and felt at.
Oh, what a pickup there by both teams. Both teams with great reaction. Tolentino down the line and finding the corner. Just as you mentioned, on cue.
On cue and well needed, much needed by the Ateneo Lady Eagles. Yung elevation na meron si Kat Tolentino, even up against somebody like Des Cheng, who is also tall. But Kat Tolentino, you've watched her all throughout this season. She is a consistent scorer for Ateneo. And right now, her presence is the one most needed by the Lady Eagles to be able to get a rally going here, especially in the second set.
Fourth best in the league. As you mentioned, and the third best spiker in the league. De La Cruz, mababa to. Trying to go for the angle. Coach RTJ calls his first time out.
Hindi pwedeng maging ganun, okay? So kailangan natin makipagpalitan. Maganda yung receive natin. So ready lang na sa kombinasyon nila. Huwag magigil, lagi pag sitasampuan ng bola. Hindi pwedeng liligin. Tandaan mo kung ano yung klasa. Pag yung tawag ka na lang play. Okay? O sige, sa maganda pa ha, sa magandang receive.
It's the first time Coach RDJ calls a timeout other than all those technical timeouts. And he still has an 8-point lead, but he's trying to make sure here that di mabigyan ng confidence itong Ateneo. Boss Dino Laurena in the middle. And watching and in attendance here at the Araneta Coliseum in the 10.
How you're playing here in the second set will affect how you play in the third set, especially mentally. So you have to get as much rallies, as much momentum as you can to be able to build up, especially if you're Ateneo, to be able to build up for the third set.
That's 3 straight points for Ateneo. Remember, actually, that's 4 straight points. We were at 18-7 earlier. So this is the biggest run that Ateneo has had in terms of points, even going back to the first set.
Time to take advantage of your Coach O and the Lady Eagles. This is the time to score and to build up the momentum to be able to make a better run against DLSU.
You mentioned Ogunsanya and how crucial she'll be in this match. What a find there. Well, what an angle to break that 4-0 run.
Now serving Desiree Chen.
19-11 now. We're coming to the end of this second set. And another service error. Nine errors in total for LaSalle in this set number 2. And yet, as you see Vince Solentino in attendance, yet they're in the lead by 7. And another service error from the other side. LaSalle with 9, Ateneo with 6 here in set number 2. Eight-point lead. Everybody. Tension is felt here at the Araneta Coliseum. That's out for Jules Samonte. Now LaSalle is looking good so far, Michelle. They're rolling. Everything working for them. But let's mention, Ateneo has shown some comebacking abilities here. This is a fact. This is not an opinion. They came back against UST, 2 sets down. They came back against FEU, 2 sets down. So they have that ability to come back. As you always preach here, when you're my analyst or anybody else's analyst, Michelle, that third set is always the toughest.
Because you know you're 2 sets up, you're getting complacent, you're much more relaxed. And in the first case, when these 2 teams met, it was also the same outcome. Ateneo won the third set. Medyo napabayaan ng DLSU. That's 25-16 if I'm not mistaken. So LaSalle doesn't want another repeat if you're up against the Ateneo with 2 sets.
Lady Eagle.
Excellent point.
Kasi hindi yan yung ginagawa mo eh. Diba? Tapos nagmamatay ito gusto you. We want to make the point right away. Bumabalik sa atin ang bola ng magaang. Of course, most of the times hindi mape-perfect sa atin. But we have to make a way, find a way. Pwede ba yung error na ganon? Come on, girls. Keep the patience, keep the positivity. Naiinip eh. Pag naiinip na, nagmamatahimik na eh. Hey, remove the individuality. Remove the individuality. Just help each other. Ask for help.
Coach O pleading the girls to come back here. Remove the individuality, he says. Talk to each other.
From the timeout.
Teamwork to try to come back here. As LaSalle is in a major wave. Reception error. Somebody crossed the line. I think it was Dina Wong. Joy Imos, our second referee, caught her as Manny Gandler will march back here as Lasal is 2 points away from knocking in the second set win. And Samonte will have a little chit-chat with Coach O.
Substitution.
Once again, boom, it's the reception of Ateneo that is failing to give them the opportunity to spike. You know that Ateneo is the second best spiking team in the league, and they're not able to take advantage of that against LaSalle, who is only the fourth attacking team in the league because of the lack of reception.
Which goes back to our conversation at the pregame, because they've been serving very well at LaSalle, and now they have another set point, and their biggest lead of the match at 12 set points.
Set points, Lady Spikers.
3-game winning streak for LaSalle, 10-game winning streak for Ateneo. Chance here. Checked at the net. Cobb. Dez pushes it to the other side. Gandler off the blockers. Jolina backtracks, then launches. It is out.
No touch.
And it is a point for Ateneo. 1 set point saved.
You know, boom, looking at the DLSU now, the DLSU Lady Spikers, how they're playing, how they're consistently performing. The last time I've seen them play like this was the first game against Ateneo.
Which you said was their best game so far in the year.
Was their best game. Today is looking like their best game as well here in the second round, and it's only against a team like the Ateneo Lady Eagles.
Service error sends DLSU to the other side of the court, pocketing a 2-sets-to-love lead. This one, an even more dominant set than the first set. We will be back with more UAAP action right here on SNA. (25-17) in 25 minutes, 25-13 in 26 minutes. LaSalle is looking dominant so far. I have to use the term and those words so far because it's never over until it's over. But 2-0, looking good. Take us through that second set. How different was it, or the same compared to the first set, Michelle?
Both teams, boom, had more errors in the first set. The problem with Ateneo was they weren't able to match their errors with the amount of points that they scored. They only had a few attack points in that game, and they're really banking on the errors of LaSalle. Only 3 attack points for them and 11 on the side of the Lady Spikers. What's surprising is, boom, still no block points for the Ateneo Lady Eagles. We got 0 in the first set, 0 in the second set, and they had 1 ace in the previous set, but no aces right now. And the errors that both teams committed was just too much in that second set. Medyo nang gigil parehong team. Ateneo really has to be able to have and create more opportunities for their attackers to be able to score. Tolentino, in their previous meeting in the first round, had 16 points, Boom. And finishing the second set, she only has 3 points so far in this game.
Mga kapamilya, malapit na po ang SNA Volleyball Grand Fans Day. Sugod na sa Trinoma Activity Center, April 25. Magpa-picture, pa-autograph. Sa mga paborito ninyong PVL superstars, makikita mo ang aking partner dyan, si Michelle Gumabaw. April 25. In the meantime, going back to what Michelle was talking about, it's a shocking amount of people. NBA winning streak, number 1 team, second best spiking team, number 1 blocking team, and all of those strengths. And that's why yung head-to-head na pinakita natin kanina, Michelle, importante yun because we want to show the strengths and weaknesses of both these teams and who can negate each other. And so far, DLSU has been able to do it against Ateneo. Now, positive start for Ateneo. PDL with the first point of this set. They're playing on their back foot, but they know how to play from behind itong Ateneo. They've done it a couple of times against very good teams. Let's see if they can do it against LaSalle. If they want to win, they have to extend it to 5 sets. Let's check in with Ayana Perlas.
Boom and Michelle, before every game, Coach will make sure to remind the girls of a couple reminders. And for today's game, it's to take control of the match. And in the last set, this is exactly what we witnessed. A hungrier Lady Spikers. Now in the hustle, we reminded the girls to stay focused, go all out and finish strong. But even with a set win, he pleaded for the girls to stay disciplined for things to be maintained. Now, Boom and Michelle, May Luna has been doing incredibly great in the match play, especially with her service and attacks. We all know that May Luna's injury, her face injury, is what made her confidence go down, which caused her to spend less time in the court. But even with this, she used this as a motivation to train harder. Kagaya ng sinabi sa akin ng coaching staff kanina, masipag talaga si May and she deserves this. Let's see if the Lady Spikers will be able to give Ateneo their second loss. Back to you.
And she has probably made the most impact in this game so far, including that block. May Luna, 2-1, DLSU taking the lead back. Reversing to Tolentino. May Luna was there.
A touch violation on Tolentino.
And a touch. Kiana D. Right beside Sid De Basilio. And sandwich between De Basilio and Reyes. Mga kampiyon, mga MVP. Tuwa, no? Dahil 3-1 lamang dito and 2 sets to love. Let's go to Franny Reyes real quick.
Whatever you do is your choice. Coach O mentioned this before the game, and in timeouts, he's trying to remind the girls that they are in control of their attitude, their mindset, and their fire. Earlier, Maddie told the girls na kailangan ibalik ang fierceness sa kanilang mga mata. Now, before the set, Bea De Leon actually knelt before her teammates. She told them, I want to win this. You want to win this. We've done this so many times before, so let's do it again, and let's prove to them what we can do. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Franny. They have a lot of time to do that. Although Coach O and the rest of the Lady Eagles are down 3 here. Have not had a lot of reason to celebrate so far because LaSalle has been playing on point.
In all areas, Boom, they are covering all areas from serving to attacking to blocking right now, as you saw that last block by Julia De La Cruz, and also their defense and reception.
I was just about to say, even the loose balls, the picking up of loose balls, they've been all over the place. Samonte, and somebody scraped the net, and I think it was De La Cruz. So that's a point for Ateneo. They're down 2 here. Nice decision by Jules Samonte there.
You change up in the middle of the air while you're attacking. Jan magaling si Jules Samonte. She knows if she's going for a powerful hit to swipe it up the hands of the blocker or just simply tip it in. The versatility of Jules Samonte as a spiker is really great to see when you're watching her attack.
3 point ang pamimigay ng LaSalle sa Ateneo after that rotation error. You look at CJ Saga so far. Front of her predecessor, the Don Macandili na nandito. Saga lets that one go. That's the third Service error.
of Kat Tolentino in this whole game.
16 points in that first matchup. And has been incredible in this 10-game winning
Up to
streak,
serve.
being mentioned up there in MVP
Gonzalez.
conversations. Kat Tolentino, but today just hasn't been the same. And it's not only her. As again,
Service.
Ogosanya struts after that service ace.
We've been seeing her do that all throughout the first set, from her
She did,
blocks
didn't
to
she?
her attacks and to that service ace boom.
6-3. She's got 7 points and 2 service aces so far. Talking about Duque Ogosanya. Nobody home for Lasal as Natty sends it to the back area.
When you have a good reception, Dina Wong is able to get her quickers up in the air, and the blockers of LaSalle, malilito sila eh. Pag wala kang reception boom, automatic ka sa wing spikers na kaabang.
Correct.
That's why Jules Amonte is having a hard time, as well as Gaston and Tolentino, is because the blockers are already there in front of them. 2 blockers are always up against them.
Meantime, May Luna, 9 points in this match on 6 attacks. She's got 3 service aces. She came off the bench. She's right behind Jolina De La Cruz, who has 10 points. But Jolina started this match. She's on your screens right now. May Luna has had the impact off the bench. 7-4 is our score. Easy pickings for CJ Saga. Luna will roll it to the other side. Wong will open up to Pongay. Pongay puts it away.
In the middle, Bongay.
Great shot there for Pongay Gaston. Ateneo looking better now in their defense and in their receptions.
JRS Express, best play of the game, right in between the blockers. 2 points down. And he's serving. It's in the hands of Ateneo. 1-2 play, the pickup by De La Cruz. Cheng will send it to the other side. And score!
Great loose ball play there by DLSU. Desiree Cheng, just enough power and speed to get that point.
Almost 16,000 in attendance. That's 15,854 to be exact. For the round number 2 matchup between the number 1 and number 2 teams in the league. Ateneo with a 10-game winning streak. LaSalle with a 3-game winning streak. Right now are up by 2 sets and 3 points here in set number 3. Des! Run and gun time!
Michelle Cobb consistently going to her middles. Des Clemente is being used well. Aduque Agonsanya also being utilized in the front row. And the offense right now of LaSalle is just everywhere. Front row, back row, on the opposite, on the outside. They're really getting their touches and their opportunities across.
The biggest lead of set number 3 right now, it is at 5, 10-5.
Timeout, Lady Eagles.
Ano, ayaw natin magsalita, oh. Isang receive tayo, nakakabalik tayo. Fine to win, make away, hindi lang isang ginagawa. Pwede mo gusto, pwede ba pagkagitin dito yun, oh. Pwede naman yan, eh, oh. Maganda receive, eh. Kapul mo bago ka magbigay ng play. Sa first ball pa lang pwede na. Pwede na, wala naman, two spikers eh. Eh kahit na, two spikers eh.
Hey, you can watch all your favorite sports and even all your favorite shows in just one click. First, let's talk about iWant Sports, the newest section on iWant, available. Download or update the iWant app via App Store and Play Store or log on to iWant.ph now. And speaking of your favorite shows, pwede yung ulit-ulitin yan, mga pelikulang nagpaiyak at nagpakilig sa inyong lahat. Available, ang highest grossing Filipino film of all time, The House of Us, is available on iWant via pay-per-view. Visit iWant.ph or download the iWant app now. 11 to 5 now is the biggest lead here in set number 3 as a service error changes that. Ateneo fans waiting for a spark, regardless of whether it's from a player, from a play. As Clemente sends it over, Luna with a dig. Clemente on the second opportunity puts it away.
Des Clemente is just doing a tremendous job right now, Boom, and Michelle Cobb just keeps on feeding her the ball from that running attack straight to that quick attack. You see the versatility of Des Clemente has quickly grown since the first game, her debut game here.
That is very on point, that observation. She looked very nervous in that first game and tentative, but today, Des Clemente looking good, as 13 to 6 now is the score, and another net error here. Ayon, sumabit. Dina Wong. Clemente continues to serve. Nice one, but a nice pickup also by Hekiliana to keep the ball in play. Cobb, a little short on that one. Hekiliana will underhand it to Pongay. Somebody touched the net and it might be on Cobb. She admits that one.
She knows that one. When you're a blocker, Boom, and you see your spiker changing mid-air, dun ka rin, mapapapalit ka din. Gusto mo habulin yung bola, and the discipline that Coach Emil was saying a while ago, yun yung kailangan mo talaga as a blocker because your hands have to be inside. Slight change of movement, you can touch the net automatically.
Jolina from the back. BDL pushes it, but Jolina again able to keep it in play. And so does Tolentino. She gets it back and puts it away.
Tolentino. Great kill there by Cap Tolentino.
And Fudgy Bar, Bar Sasaya. The reaction, nobody above 5 points. Ateneo right now so far. Chance ball. Lead is 5. Make that 4.
Down the line.
Here comes a little bit of a mini run from the Ateneo side, and the fans trying to will this team back into this match. Coach Emil might call a timeout here, and he does. Let's listen in.
Timeout, Lady Spikers.
So, naitataas natin yung bola, kaya lang mga atake natin magkamadali masyado. Hindi natin napapalo yung mga pivot. Talagaan natin ito lamang. Ganyan. Hindi mo pwede. Malamang tayo. Kumuha lang tayo isa-isa lang. Pamatay sila, pamatay tayo. Hindi mo pwedeng dalawa sila. Tapos sa importante makasinta lang tayo. Pamatay natin. Break the momentum, okay? Break the momentum.
Coach RDJ wants Lasal to break the momentum. These are the breakdown of the wins so far of DLSU. In the meantime, you see that their remaining schedule, they have UE and FU coming up. here at the Araneta Coliseum. Nobody more than 5 points from Ateneo. Kat,
Back to the action.
Bongay, Mandy, all have 5.
Deserve.
That's their leading scorers. But we have time to change that if Ateneo chases and comes back in this match. But Ogunsanya, following the orders of RDJ, saying break the momentum, and that's what he did, or that's what she did rather.
Coming from a timeout, great play, great reception there as well for DLSU. Michelle Cobb having a easier job.
Gatorade hydration checkpoint now, 14-9. Wong, the BDL.
The block, Bea, De Leon.
10-14 now. BDL will be serving here. Remember, Ateneo has come back twice from 2 sets down. You see the parents of different players there. The Ravenas, the Tolentinos, the Leons, the Maraginots, all in attendance among many others here in this crowd, almost 16,000 strong in Araneta. It's a great pickup by Bongay. Rolling hit. And a point will be given to Ateneo. This is the closest they've gotten here in set number 3 after being down 13-6. So it is a 5-1 run here in set number 3.
Double violation contact called on Jolina de la Cruz. And it's a different Ateneo Lady Eagles that we see right now in the 3rd set. Boom. They're much more lively inside the court, more talks, more communication, and their defense and reception. Also their serve is all falling into place.
Ogunsanya snaps it though with an emphatic kill to the delight of the former players. 5-1 run, and then Ogunsanya with a quick kill.
Up to serve, Desiree Chang.
The captain serves. Samonte over. Coach O begging for a touch ball. Rene Caspina says nope. And we go to the second technical timeout of set number 3. $15,824 today, sorry, 854 today. Saturday, UAAP live on SNA and Liga, and available in high definition on SNA HD and Liga HD. School spirit is overflowing here today. Wear your school pride. Head on to UAPstore.com. Get your official licensed UAP merchandise, shirts, caps, headphones, novelty items. Follow UAP Store on Instagram and on Facebook. Back to live action. Reverse to Cat. Too low.
It was a good reception, but the set of Dina Wong was going away from the net. Kat Tolentino trying to make that one work. Rare hit into the net for her.
So what a response after the timeout of RDJ, Michelle. When we got the score at 11-14, nung umahabol ang Lasal, 3 straight points by Lasal. Pero namigay ngayon. So after all of that, it's at 17-12.
In this whole game, boom, LaSalle is doing their job, but also they're also hindering their momentum. In terms of their services, andun yung lakas ng serve nila, pero sila din yung nag-i-error. And it also is, right now, back-to-back points for Ateneo. Sila mismo yung gumagawa rin ng paraan para makabalik ang Ateneo dito sa game na to.
5-1 run by Ateneo, 3-0 run by LaSalle, and now 2 straight points for Ateneo. So after all of that, we're at 17-13. Saga. Great first ball. De La Cruz babies that. And gives Ateneo another point. Another 3-0 run here. To crawl within 3 after being down 6 here in this set. Cobb. Luna rolls it to the other side. Back row, Bongkai. Sheng was there to pop it up. Luna again. Oh, underneath the ball. You can see it. It was right in front of us, Michelle.
No touch there. Definitely no touch there. 4 straight points for the Ateneo Lady Eagles. All errors of DLSU. One of those was an ace by Kat Tolentino. Service error for DLSU. Back-to-back spiking errors for DLSU. And they're bringing Ateneo back into the 3rd set of the match.
De La Cruz.
De La Cruz
finishes that run, that 4-0 run of Ateneo, to have a little more breathing room between them. 18-15, Erica Ragas will come back in for Kat Tolentino, who has 6 points in this match. She is actually leading them right now. Ragas will replace her as Ogunsanya serves 18-15. Adi, Sheng, Luna, bago isip. Wong reverses to Maddie. Pick up again by the captain. Jolina attacks. And puts it away. 5 points away from possibly a straight sets win over their collegiate rivals.
Great decision there to swipe it off the block of Jules Amonte. Back-to-back points right now for DLSU. Boom, if you're Ateneo, you don't want DLSU to get their runs right now. Take advantage of the errors, take advantage of the small points that DLSU is giving, and make a run for yourselves.
Off the block, Jules.
Not at this point, no. They're closing in on a win. It's not over yet, though. 16 will be serving 19 here in set number 3. Coach O looking for his first win over RDJ, who's got 11 titles in his bag. De La Cruz again with that flick of the wrist.
On the adjust.
Coming from the back row, Boom, she is a constant go-to hitter in that back row, serving as a full front 9 for Michelle Cobb. She has that option, a very great option for Michelle Cobb to go in that back row.
So far, Michelle, in the 3 sets, especially in this 3rd set, where Ateneo has had more runs than in any other set, ano? Nasala still found an answer.
Tina.
Against those runs. Just when you think Ateneo was starting to get some rhythm here, it's back to a 5-point lead. One last ditch stand for Coach O, as he calls this time.
Lady Eagles.
Pag wala silang mapatay na bola, tatargetin doon, di matama lang sa kamay natin eh. Nagmamadali na naman tayong bumla. Pangalawa, cross, pag may block, anong gagawin nila? Capture here. So why are you not moving? We have to move. We have to move. Tina, pag ganun hindi double pa-block na tayo, overball na eh. Come on, we can still do it. Okay, hey, attitude is a choice. Come on, come on. Show good attitude. Come on, come on.
One step at a time, one stop.
Well, Ateneo has a lighter assignment, would you say, in the last 2 games? They have UE, they have Adamson, the last 2 teams here in the league. Obviously, they want to win against Ateneo today, as Gretchen Ho is here at the Araneta Coliseum, and then win against UE and Adamson to only have 1 loss in their team standing, but they do have UE and Adamson next to finish off their campaign and still probably most likely be number 1.
That's what we said a while ago. Whatever happens in today's game versus DLSU, they will still still be number 1 if they continue to win against UE and Adamson. And even though LaSalle finishes off FEU in their last 2 games as well, Ateneo will still be at number 1.
8 service aces, by the way.
We have Wewe Medina from the USD men's volleyball team.
Ragas at that time. Clemente. Wong. Gaston cross court. Saga was there again. Luna. Samonte. Wong. Gaston. Picked up by Cheng. De La Cruz sends it to the other side. Nobody. Back row. Smart move by Dina Wong.
Good drop shot there by Dina Wong all the way to the end of the court. Great rally there for both teams. This is how you want to see Boom this third set playing out with more rallies and more opportunities for both teams.
Cobb to Luna. Ragas keeps it alive. Cobb again. The run and gun. Too much muscle behind it and no flick of that wrist for Clemente, so the ball went straight.
That was almost an open hit for her, Des Clemente. No sight of any blockers in front of her. Medyo nagigil doon sa running attack na yun. Good setup job by Michelle Cobb.
In Tiamzon, Mars Alba coming in for Jolina De La Cruz and Mitch Cobb as Ateneo has cut the lead down to 4 here. Still a chance for the team with a 10-game winning streak. Over received. The lead is down to 3. Here come the Lady Eagles. Coach Ramil thinking of whether there's going to be a timeout here. I think there will be. Coach Noel Orcolio pressing the timeout button.
Ladies fighters.
Yung palo, hindi na po pwedeng lagyan ng power na, lagyan ng variation ng palo na rin. So tingnan natin, tumasin mo wala. Wala, kaya sana sa gagawin Marian, okay? Tingnan natin sa pumatay lang, pari na lang po. Okay na yan. Kaya magpari na lang tayo, magpari na lang. Okay, wala na isang basa.
This is another chance for Ateneo to come back here as they're down 3. Coach Ramil calling that timeout to try to make sure that there is no comeback.
And you've said it a while ago, over and over again, Ateneo has the capabilities to be able to come back even though they're 2 sets down. And you're seeing the Ateneo that's fighting right now and wanting to win this third set. Yun yung nawala ng first 2 sets, Boom, that killer instinct that they usually have in the game.
Still alive. Free ball for Ateneo. And they go to Bongay. Bongay had to adjust, but still drills it through. Closest name gotten. And Coach Ramil will recall Jolina and Michelle back to the lineup for Tiamzon and Alba.
Coach Ramil wanting a full front line there, having Michelle Cobb up against Bongay Gaston is a very difficult matchup if you're blocking for DLSU, but he's putting her back again in this crucial part of the third set.
Biggest lead of this set was 6. Now it's down to 1. 21 serving 22. The closest Ateneo has gotten since yung ating mga rallies ng first set. And this is at a crucial time here. LaSalle has to regain composure and focus here. And Ateneo wants to keep rolling. Cheng over receives again. They will call it for LaSalle. Why is that, Michelle? Can you explain that call?
The ball wasn't going to the opposite side of their court. It was still in LaSalle court.
Reaching on the net. Call.
And this is at a crucial moment. Obviously, that's why the crowd is reacting to it. Let's look at that, Michelle, and take us through it again.
It was still on the court of LaSalle, and you cannot touch it because Michelle was setting it to Des Clemente. She wasn't tipping it over, so you cannot disrupt the second ball coming from the setter.
Again, you have to give the opportunity for the setter to set. So LaSalle regains a 2-point lead, but now it's back to 1. As Bongay Gaston gets that point. Let's look at that play again. Bounces out off the block of Cobb. Cap Tolentino is back in that front line. Some tension here at the Araneta Coliseum.
We haven't felt this.
Yeah.
Jitters and yung kaba in past 2 sets. Des Cheng is also up here for DLSU.
Pick up by Ravena. Cheng probably distracted Dino Wong a little bit at the net, and Wong did not pick the ball up. Let's look at that.
You see that drop shot by Des Clemente. Des Cheng looks like she was going for a block, but she faked it and did not even jump. Dino Wong could not do anything about that ball. She was in the back row.
Yes, it was tough. Match point. Save from a very nervous serve by Des Clemente.
Making things a little more exciting for all of us, Boom, here at the Araneta Coliseum.
Flat serve goes out. Match point number 2.
Bongay Gaston.
And it is Bongay Gaston. And her team down 1. Cobb. Ogunsanya. Puts it away. And LaSalle wins in straight sets.
Just when you think Michelle Cobb will go to Des Cheng, boom. This is what LaSalle prepared for. Their middles stepping up in this game. Des Clemente, Aduque Agunsanya doing a great job of getting the blockers away from their outside hitters.
Boy, what a chase by Ateneo here in this 3rd set, Michelle, to give us some tension and, you know, some excitement, some nervous moments. But LaSalle hanging tough and hanging and banging in that sequence is Aduque Ogunsanya, giving them their 4th straight win and their 9th to retain the number 2 spot, and sweeping Ateneo this season to deal Ateneo their only losses in this season, 81, and also breaking that 10-game winning streak. LaSalle wins in straight sets. We'll be back to wrap this baby up. Back inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum, where you see the confirmation of the win of DLSU in straight sets, 25-17, 25-13, and a very tense 25-23 third set. But LaSalle winning its 4th straight game and breaking the 10-game winning streak of the league-leading Ateneo de Manila University. All right, your quick thoughts on that. Did you expect this to be straight sets?
I did not, Boom. Looking at how Ateneo was playing ever since these first two teams met in the first round, they've grown a lot. But the weaknesses and the issues that we've seen in their past game versus DLSU, naglabasan na naman in today's game. DLSU doing a great job being disciplined and being consistent in all areas today on their game.
And a lot of great individual performers from the LaSalle side. But Michelle chose CJ Saga as our best player, and she is with Ayana Perlas.
Thank you so much, Boo and Michelle. So, of course, CJ, congratulations on securing the 2nd spot in the final floor. So, floor defense has been the bread and butter of LaSalle today. So, paano nyo na-overcome yung blockings and attacks of Ateneo?
Siguro we just worked hard as a team and remained disciplined from the very start of the first set until the very end of the game. Yun yung paulit-ulit na ni-remind ni Coach sa amin, and I think that's yun yung secret from today's victory.
So, for you, gaano kalaking factor ang rivalry kaya coming into this match, kaya natalo nyo ang Ateneo in 3 sets?
Sobrang nakaka-overwhelm siya, pero at the same time, labanan ng pride to, kaya hindi kami magpapatalo. We know na ang dami sumusuporta. Ito, lahat ng mga tao na nandito ngayon, they're all behind us, so wala kami dapat ikatakot.
Thank you so much, Ate CJ. So, of course, Boo and Michelle, do you have anything else to ask CJ?
Yes, congratulations, CJ. You played with no fear, no? Walang katakot-takot. She is, of course, our MG Morris Garage's dynamic player of the game, CJ Saga. All right, CJ, take us through. If you remember the first round matchup, ano yung focus nyo in that first round matchup, and then ikumpara mo dun sa focus nyo going into the second round, knowing na Ateneo may 10-game winning streak?
Dinesrecord lang namin yung winning streak nila kasi kung iisipin namin na puro sila panalo, mawawala lang kami doon. So we just focus on what we can do kaysa yung inisip namin kung ano yung kaya nilang gawin. So we just worked hard talaga kung paano namin sila tinalo nung first round, tripling, paghihirap, pagpupursige sa training, yun po yun.
And of course, CJ, ibang LaSalle ang nakikita natin in today's game and in that first game in MOA Arena. Paano nyo magiging consistent yung game na yon in their last remaining 2 games here in the elimination round?
Siguro we just have to remember who we are and that we have the blood of a champion. Yun lang po yung dapat i-stack namin sa utak namin. And we know sa system ni Coach Jamil, hindi kami mawawala.
Yun, at the end of the day, yung pagtiwala kay Coach RDJ. CJ, if you have anybody to thank right now, this is your chance.
First of all, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior. Kundi po dahil sa inyo, wala po ako ngayon dito. And of course, to the LaSallian community na manalo-matalo, lagi pong nandyan. And of course, my family back home, my mom, my father, si Lola, and of course, my sister Julia. I love you so much, and this is all for you.
What a game for you, CJ. Scrambling all over the place today. Congratulations to you. Stay healthy and good luck in your next game. LaSalle wins their 4th straight game and, of course, as we said, ends the 10-game winning streak of Ateneo. They came in focused. They came in disciplined, as she said, and sumunod lang kay Coach RDJ at naipanalo in straight sets against their collegiate rivals. All right, patuloy po ang ating labanan.